Hi everyone, it's Kainoa coming to you once again as the Teddy Bear Thinker. In today's video, I want to shift our attention to this TIT, the Trump infrastructure trillion, compared to the TIT that we've been focusing on throughout the mainstream media all these several months, the Trump impeachment trial. Especially as today the U.S. Senate has voted to acquit the president. I don't want to get into the discussion about the impeachment trial, as we've heard a lot about it through these past several months. And again, my focus is on this TIT now, the Trump infrastructure trillion. And I had drawn this little political cartoon back in October 2019 in reference to pork barrel politics. And for those of you that are into politics like I am, pork barrel politics is allocating certain funds to certain projects, certain political projects, economic projects, and whatnot, for certain political gain. And so why I wanted to focus on this TIT of the Trump infrastructure trillion is back in 2016, Donald Trump, as a candidate, had campaigned on investing $1 trillion in our nation's infrastructure. And of course, he can't do that on his own. He's got to go through Congress. And so my goal with this is to hold Congress and the president accountable in coming up with an infrastructure plan, especially as we saw in his State of the Union address last night, when President Donald Trump had mentioned in infrastructure investments. We saw members of both sides of the aisle stand up and applaud that. And we should, especially as he said that it includes money to fix our crumbling infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, as well as ensuring high-speed internet access, especially to those in our rural America. And so with the Trump infrastructure trillion, this pork barrel project, I drew 3 piglets being nourished by the Trump infrastructure trillion. And those 3 piglets represent the Department of Defense, the United States Postal Service, as well as the Department of Commerce. The reason I chose those 3 piglets was because the U.S. Constitution permits the government, Congress, to raise taxes in order to fund certain things. And some of those things, again, the protection of all U.S. citizens through the Department of Defense. It also said that Congress could raise taxes to establish postal offices and postal roads. And there you go, the United States Postal Service. It also states, the Constitution, the paper, the document, that our elected officials are supposed to be following, as that is our republic where we can vote for our leaders. However, those leaders are beholden not only to us, but also our founding document, the U.S. Constitution. So the U.S. Constitution also permits Congress to raise taxes in order to fund the Department of Commerce, to fund commerce amongst the states, amongst the Native American tribes, as well as international trade. So it is my hope to see more and more plans and more efforts by the president and by our congressional members to invest in our infrastructure, as it would be beneficial not to only one side of the aisle, whether it's Republican or Democrat, but infrastructure spending is permitted by the U.S. Constitution, and it would benefit all Americans, regardless of race, sexual orientation, political affiliation, religious affiliation. Infrastructure spending is something that we can all come to an agreement that we need to spend money on. But again, we have to have the political will, and we have to remember that politics is about compromise. So again, my hope is that our Congress and that our president, our elected officials, focus on this TIT now, the Trump infrastructure trillion. Hold the president accountable to that campaign promise back from 2016 that he would invest $1 trillion in infrastructure. It could be beneficial. It'll allow to grow the economy, strengthen our military, strengthen our economy, strengthen our infrastructure within our country, as well as our commerce. If USPS gets an update to the 21st century, my gosh, how much better we would all be. Department of Commerce, look at all the trade agreements we're winning, and more to come. And again, the Department of Defense, strengthen for the safety of not only the United States, but all of our allies across the nation as well. I look forward to your thoughts. Tell me if you agree with focusing on infrastructure spending. And again, this is Kainoa, the Teddy Bear Thinker, coming to you once again with another video, hoping to create this movement for reasonable Republicans and disciplined Democrats. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Bye.